A few months ago, I decided to start my own publication to share front-end insights. Before diving into this, I realized that I need to choose tech stack to maintain consistency in my publication long-term. Since I primarily work with React, I decided to go with Next.js firstly, but then I realized it wasn't designed for content creation purpose, and I picked Astro because I was impressed by its focus on content and its ability to generate clean HTML. I wrote a few articles about it, check them out. Also, I created a full guide how to build a static blog publication in Next.js and content layer. And in this video, I walk you through my article step by step, demonstrating each aspect of publication process and how it's accomplished using Astro. Let me start from showing you a high-level architecture that our publication will have, so you understand each piece. The first part is a content store. This is kind of independent part, and we need content to be in a format that is framework agnostic. So in case we want to change the framework or platform, there will be no problems. In my case, it was the transition from the Next.js to Astro, so I transferred my content without any issues or changes. What type of content we can store? It can be not only blog posts, but it also author's page or newsletters. These files can have a different structure, so we should have ability to keep that structure consistent. We will use GitHub as a store, and we'll keep our content in the same code base as templates. Also, GitHub will help us to keep a history of content changes and images as well. So how we can keep file structures consistent? Here is where Astro Collections part can help. Astro Collections will validate MDX files front matter, and it will generate TypeScript files so we can make sure our template files will be in sync with our content. To configure Astro Collections, we will use just a single configuration file. Here is an example of it. It's just a type content and the schema that our front matter will have. And here is an example of front matter I use for my blog publication. It's just a title, date, short description, tags, and main image for the article. So yeah, let's just get this article and go step by step to get the basic setup for Astroblog. And yeah, I assume you have programming skills. This publication stuff is mostly for developers. I will share code examples from my existing website, and we will cover all main aspects of publication. So let's get started. First of all, we need to create project using Astro. Let's do this. It's a basic Astro wizard for creating projects. It's pretty nice. Yeah, let's name it Astro blog. Include sample files. Yes. We will use TypeScript, strict, install dependencies. Yes. Yeah, let's do this. Nice. Let's go to our project and try to start it. PM run def. Yeah, it works. Let's go to the next step. Next step will be adding Tailwind CSS. Let's do that. It will add basic Tailwind config, and also will add integration in the Astro configuration file. And yeah, let's also add Tailwind CSS typography. We will need it later. and we'll need to add it to Tailwind config. Okay, let's make sure Tailwind works. Let's go to our main page. Replace it with the content. Hello world with the red text. Yeah, it works. Yeah, as a step 3, we will add Astro MDX. This library will be in charge of converting our MDX files to HTML. Also, it installs Astro MDX and add it to Astro configuration file here. It's empty so far, but we will add some config later. As a next step, let's configure Astro content collections. Content folder is a reserved folder where Astro Collections is looking for content. In our case, we will have blog posts. So let's create a blog folder. And let's create a configuration file in the root of content folder. Config. Configuration file will be used by Astro to validate MDX files, front matter, as well as generating TypeScript files. Yes, this is our schema of front matter, and let's create our first content file. Yeah, let's try to generate TypeScript files. For it, we need to restart our server. Yeah. So our TypeScript file was generated. Okay, so now it's time to render our first content. Let's add a front matter. I'm gonna copy it from my existing article. Right. Yeah, let's fix the format. Should be MDX. Yeah, and I also need an image, cover image for this article. Let's copy it from here. Okay. So yeah, let's see. We created a content folder with files, added a configuration for collections. That means we just covered these two parts, and now it's time for the templates and routing. Yeah, let's check the article. As soon as we need this kind of path, we need to replicate this path under Pages, reserved folder in Astro. So let's create this file. Pages, log. Okay, this syntax means that this will be replaced with some dynamic slug in our case. Yeah, what we see here, it is exported function get static paths. This is for Astro at build time to understand what kind of files generate. In our case, it is slug from post. And yeah, we use collections to query content and render it. Yeah, so using get static paths, we pass our post as a props, so we can read it here and use Astro API for render content. At this stage, our MDX file is converted to HTML, and it happens on the server side during build time. Okay, let's see if it works. Yeah, it works. And yeah, let's clean up these layout styles. Don't need it so far. Yep, nice, working. Okay, so as a step 6, let's render a list of blog posts. Let's assume our blog posts will be our main page. So we need to add it under index Astro, in index Astro here. And here we query our blog collection and just render it. Render a simple anchor with a Slack link. Yeah, let's see if it works. Yeah, now we can navigate to the article. Let's go further and see Tailwind CSS typography in action. We already installed it and configured it, so let's change our article template to see how it works. Here, mostly it's just a matter of this class, so you can add the class under the container, and your content will be stylized by this library. Let's check. Yeah, now it looks nicer, and it has links, and text sizing is good. Yeah, let's add some extra content, for example, quotation. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next step. Basic MDX transformation can require additional settings depending on the goal we want to achieve. Let's see it in action. For example, we need code highlighting and IDs for our headings, so we can navigate there by a hash in the URL. So browser scrolls to this anchor. Yeah, for it we can utilize, we have plugins. Let's install these two. We have Slug for ID headings and pretty code highlighting. Okay, and let's apply this config of MDX. Let's import. Okay, let's reload it. Yeah, and we can add some code snippet. Let's copy it from this article to our content. It can be this one, but yeah, it works. Yes, now you can write code snippets in your articles. And yeah, let's also test heading. Yeah, it has ID. Okay, so it's time to move on to metadata. Let's use this article to add an endpoint for generating an OG image for each blog publication, and also creating a metadata component that we can reuse across our articles that adds all these meta tags. Okay, so let's start from installing Vercel OG library. This library will allow us to render images on the build time. Let's create an Astro endpoint in this path. Let's grab the code from here. In this code, I use custom fonts. So these fonts should be included in your project. It's here. Okay, so let's try to generate an image for this article. Let's go to slug, OG, PNG. Yeah, now it works. On the build time, it will be just a PNG file in this folder. So you can access it by this path. All right, so let's also add metadata component. Copy the code from here. Let's try to render it in our blog post. Let's check the result. Nope, it doesn't work. Let's check why. It has slowed head. Okay, so we need to insert it in head. Let's check our layout. There's some single slot here. Check my original publication. Yeah, so we need to add this slot, named slot, to our publication. Somewhere here. Yeah, now it works. Everything is here. Step 10 is structured data. It will allow search engines to understand our content better. Structured data, in a simple words, is just a JSON that describes our content in a format that was strictly defined. I use this library to include TypeScript definitions here for better autocompletion. Let's install it. I use this file to define all the possible variants for my structured data, so I can reuse it in different files. and root. Okay, the main thing here is get article schema. So let's just this code and add it to our template. Okay, so I use graph to render several data structures. Let's just remove it for now, but yeah, you can render like website information together with the article information and together with breadcrumbs list that will be displayed in Google Reach results, for example. Okay, so we have this JSON generated here, but we need to render it inside article. By using script tag. Okay, let's check the result. Mention funnel. Let's remove it. Okay, we can check the validity of these items. Okay, so now we have correct data in place. Okay, let's go to Sitemap. Sitemap step is pretty easy using Astro CLI. Sitemap is here and will be generated on a build time. Next step is custom 404 page. Astro uses its built-in default 404 page for all cases. Let's add a custom one so you can add some useful links here so user can navigate further from this page. Just a matter of creation 404 Astro file side pages. Yep, it works. As a next step, let's make sure everything is okay and check the files generated by Astro that will be served from our static server. Run pm run build. Okay, so all static files will be in dist folder. It contains HTML files for each blog publication together with the image. Okay, so this is ready to be served from any static server. As a last step, let's deploy our blog. I use Vercel for these needs for my personal website, so this example will be at Vercel. Alright, so let's create a new repository. upload everything. Okay, so now we have the code in place. Okay, so let's try to add a new project to Vercel. Importing our Astro blog and deploy. Really simple setup. It uses predefined preset for Astro projects. So let's see. Okay, now we have our publication deployed. We can click this link. Alright, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.